All right, so today's video, we're watching a Plat Sigma, and apparently it was a very difficult game. Apparently the other tank was letting them know that they weren't playing Sigma that well. So we'll see how it goes. On top of that, they said they learned Sigma from me. I hope that's a good thing. Let's find out. Here we go. Beating the orb already. I'm happy with that. Remember, they have a Bastion, so try to save your cooldowns. That is a start. I would not recommend falling off the high ground up there. At the beginning, you got to be careful of that. Just keep in mind, and I do this sometimes too. You'll see me do this even in top 500. All right, maybe that's why that happened right there. You being out of position for even a second can shift how the team fight goes for everybody to where your teammates have to use cooldowns they shouldn't have to use right away. You know what I'm saying? That's certainly a rock throw. All right, that's the first point. Here we go. Watching? So far, I'm okay where you're at, but I want you to remember they have a Bastion. And I was just going to say, your cooldown usage. Okay, so listen. You need to let your shield regen. And Sigma was recently nerfed to where your shield takes even longer to regen. So you need to be careful with, like, trying to just throw your shield out there to do, like to take 2 damage. Because against that comp, you need your cooldowns. And so far, your cooldown usage hasn't been as good as it could be. So remember that the comp they're playing is like, don't just like get your shield broken and use your eat randomly. You're gonna use it to stop the burst damage, right? Like you want to stop that burst damage that you're running into, and don't run into them in a straight line either, because that's what's gonna happen. Think about this: when you use your Sigma shield and your eat against their comp right now, you are using it as a way to prevent the burst damage, not to prevent the poke damage. You get what I'm saying? Also, one thing that I'm already noticing that you can improve on, and I learned this with Sigma, and I do it sometimes, you're flicking your rock to the right. So, you see how you're starting in the position you're at? So if you're going to flick your rock to the right like you just did, then you got to set up for that. If you're not going to do that, then just make sure you're being pretty accurate with your rock to start, and then you're missing it when you flick it. Watch. You're going right with it. So, Scar, thanks for giving us something. Appreciate it. Thank you. At least so far. I mean, that one stayed to the left, so... Oh, here we go! Stay in there. That's fine. You're good. Get Brock. What's the difference between poke and burst damage? I think I have a hero that can perfectly describe this poke and... Okay, ready? See that Bastion right there in turret form? That is burst damage. You're taking so much damage at once if you don't do anything about it, right? The poke damage is when Bastion is out of that form and can only just sit there and do the left click, so the damage output isn't going to be as much. So you don't have to sit there and waste all of your utility to prevent the Bastion out of turret form. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of like the difference of what you're seeing there. Now you apply that to each hero and start to understand which heroes have the burst damage and the poke damage. And that's where, like, I try to get, you know, I'm trying to, like, understand what heroes have that burst damage and have that poke damage. Like right now, you would want to use your shield. Perfect. The rock is good too. Yep, rock. That's perfect because you've stopped a lot of the burst damage. You see what I'm saying? But if you do all that initially and they're not in turret form and you just waste your cooldowns, miss your rock, use your eat, now they get 10 times more value than they would normally because you're on Sigma. Yeah, Hanzo Storm Arrow is burst. I mean, like, it's hard to compare Hanzo's whole kit is burst damage, kind of. You get what I'm saying? So, like, you're just gonna get one shot by it, and that's a little bit different. That's just like immediate damage. So what's your plan here? What do you want to do? I don't mind this. I actually don't mind what you're doing here. So one tip I want to give you here, and this is a very niche one, but did you see when your Reaper was ulting right there? What is something that could have happened to that Reaper during that ultimate? Just out of curiosity. Just a general question. So, not necessarily died there, the Reaper. But what else could have happened? There we go. Jack got it. So, the Genji can deflect that damage, right? So what I would do in that situation is actually shield towards the Reaper. So that way, if they try to deflect, it's either going to get absorbed by the shield and won't do any damage to the Reaper, and then the Genji will lose that value. You get what I'm saying? So if you shield towards your Reaper during there, the Genji can't really deflect that, and they have either an option to deflect it and just get the shield, or they have to just get away and they get no value with what they're doing. If the Genji decides to engage the Reaper at that point. So try to use your shield as like a Zarya bubble sometimes to protect your teammates in that same sense. Without you can use it as almost a Zarya bubble style. Also, you're playing too aggressive here. You need to back up and use your sight lines. I'm going to show you right now. I talk about it all the time. Look at your positioning. Why are you up here? See this? See this right here? Play here. Look how much better this is. What in the world is everything okay? Just taking a nap? All right, have a good day. But look at the position. If you play back here, you have so much more sight lines and cover. You have crossfires for your team. If you play here, you're just feeding into them. So, like, work on your position in there. Fall back. Fall back. Fall back. Let's head on back right now. You should be fine, but I would have liked to see you do that sooner. Upset, thanks for the French fries. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, never mind. Look what happens. By the way, all you had to do when you were going to lose that team fight was stand in the spawn doors. I don't even know what word I just said. The spawn doors. Use your interact key and get out of there. Okay, what's the play? You went low ground. You didn't take the right side. I would recommend taking the right side initially to get the high ground and then engage them after. But if this works, it works. So we'll see what happens. Nice job. Get rock. The rocks have gotten better, so you're not flicking them as much, which is good. Just go into there. You can ult this if you want to. I actually would recommend this, otherwise you're not going to have a good ult because of overtime spawns. Just ult this. That's a good ult on D.Va. D.Va's going to get D-maxed. Shield up. Eat. Shield. Don't go too deep with the shield there, though. You threw your shield a little bit further than you should have. Use it, like, right in front of you, because remember, like, I want you to think about them having to run by you, and then also on top of that, you're going to protect your team more with a little bit closer of a shield. And that was just a good tire, so. Basically, once that tire hit all four of them, because it's overtime spawns, it's very rare you're going to be able to, like, you're not going to be able to get back at the point. It's very rare you'll be able to get back there, so. Once you lose the card at that position, you're gonna... That's why, like, ideally, you back up a little bit when that soldier ults. Think of each parts of the map as, like, an area that, like, you want to control parts of the map, right? And if you're not able to control, like, let's say that sight line where you were fighting them, back up to the next area, the next zone that you can hold and give time for your teammates to get back and force them to have to take off angles and, like, the other team is gonna have to, like, you know, get more cooldowns out. When you just run at them and, like, face tank that, you can get rolled when you do that. Especially on Sigma. You're about zoning the area out, not just face tanking in front. Reaper, thanks for 100 bits. Thank you. Alright. Yep, rock. Nice rock. Be careful here now. Remember, when you have numbers, best thing you can do now is just get your cooldowns up, work with your team. They have a long way from spawn. Don't feed in. The best thing that would go for them is if you give them a free trade. Just be smart here. Okay, you're good now. Now go in, use your eat, get your teammates in, kill the pylon top right. Kill the pylon top right. Let's get that pylon quickly. I know you can get the Yari, but I want to get in the habit of getting that pylon. Okay, your teammate got the pylon. You're good to go. Now get the D.Va. Good job. Use your shield in front of that. Well played. You're fine for now. Get Brock. Good job. Do I have any videos on crosshairs and DPS play? Like, I mean, we have spectating to DPS on my YouTube, for sure. Crosshairs, I always say is preference. Like, I try not to go too... I try not to go too deep in the discussion of things like crosshairs and even sensitivity sometimes, because it's such a preference thing that, like, my controls are all scuffed and all over the place. And, you know, it's something that works for me. So that's why I'm always like, what works for you? I'm not saying play on 92.69 sensitivity on 42,000 DPI. I'm not saying that, but, like, I generally will... I'm on more of the side of, like, sometimes it's like, you know what? Like, what works for you is going to work for you. And if it's not working, that's when you look at it and see improvements you can make with it, right? You know what I'm saying? Those wasting cooldowns? And what happened? Listen, I waste cooldowns, right? A lot. It happens. In every rank, cooldowns get wasted. It's just how much you minimize when you waste those cooldowns. And exactly, hitting buttons is fun. How do you know your sensitivity is not working? I mean, it depends. Like, you can watch a replay, or are your shots missing 6,000 feet to the left, or you're like, you know, when you like, oh, nice eat, by the way, good job. Like, or are you not able to keep up with the target? Like, are you trying to get on a target the whole time, and the only way that you're able to get the elim is if they stand still? Or if they move even, like, to the left, you can't keep up with them. Maybe your sensitivity is too low. There's things that you can look at and make those adjustments if need be. That's also why I say it's going to be kind of based off of what's happening in your game and how you're feeling, right? Like, if you feel like it's not working, then you can evaluate and look at it. Also, I want you to focus on your shield there. You almost got rolled by that. Your shield would have blocked that. As I was saying, it was a good eat. Yeah. What if you have a sensitivity that makes you do both? That's different. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. For example, I play on a hard pad, right? I play on a glass mouse pad. Keep in mind, when I talk about mouse pads here, a lot of people are going to play more on cloth mouse pads, right? Which is what you generally will see when you get a mouse pad, is that more like cloth style mouse pad. I'm starting to see more hard pads now. I think people are starting to like them a little bit more, but it's all preference. So when I play in a cloth mouse pad, my aim gets a little bit different on the same sensitivity than it would be on a hard pad, right? So sometimes it could be the mouse pad. Sometimes it could be the mouse you have. Sometimes you could be, your mouse pad is your desk, and, you know, you have like scratches on the desk or like little like dents on the desk that your mouse hits, and then it just gets scuffed. Like, there's different things. This is what I mean, where when it comes to like what you're playing with, like, etc., it's going to be preference, right? It's going to be preference. So that's why when I go down this route of discussion about like your aim and like your sensitivity and all this, I go towards what works for you is going to be the best. Finding what works for you can take time. So I'm not going to tell you go change your sensitivity to 20 right now is what I'm saying. Because I'm not going to get, like, that may not work for you. I play on 17 sensitivity. What people call EDPI is fairly high, but it works for me. When I lower it, I don't play as well with it, right? Even though in theory I'd be more accurate, but it works for me that I play on this higher sensitivity. But you would benefit playing on a lower sensitivity. You could benefit playing on a higher sensitivity. You could benefit playing in between that, right? That's kind of why I'm always like, what's going to work for you is what's going to be best. How long it can take to get to that, you never know. I mean, there's going to be times you change your sensitivity and your DPI and your mouse pad and your keyboard and your headset and your RGB gaming chair, etc. And then eventually maybe you find something that works. Maybe your desk height is not ideal for you, right? There's so many different things. Anyway, a little bit of a side note on that one. I haven't changed my sensitivity in a long time. Took me a bit though. I've changed Overwatch sensitivities over the years. I found one I'm comfortable with, and now I play with it and stay consistent on it. I'm not saying my aim's perfect. I mean, you've seen me play Widow. I don't miss. My Venom mines it is. The shots are a different story. Rose Dust, thanks for the gift sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good second point here. Good second point here. Keep it going. I mean, Sully has 100% hook accuracy on this setup. By the way, the Sigma doesn't go through the door here. I've tried that. The like Sigma doesn't automatically duck under that wall. Don't be afraid to lead in with the Sigma here, by the way. Keep this map control. If you see that Ayari use that movement ability, use it. They didn't even. Okay, you're good. You're good. Good ult. By the way, excellent ult. Use your shield now. One thing that I don't see Sigmas do as much is so many Sigmas that we watch try to just purely eat the ultimate, right? They only want to eat the ult. But what happens if the Ayari waits out your ultimate? Well, guess what? Your shield also blocks that ultimate. So Let's say that the Yari's up in the air and you can't block the ult with your eat because you're like the angle's off. Throw your shield up. You can block it. I block so many Yari ultimates just with my shield. I probably block more Yari ultimates with my Sigma shield than my actual eat, because the eat is easier for them to predict because they see you going, hello, how you doing up there? You see me holding my hands up over here? You see that giant circle? Yeah, that's gonna eat the ultimate, right? So the point I'm making is like the shield is actually one of the best ways to block that ultimate. You just gotta time it. So doesn't mean don't try to eat the ultimate. It's just that you can use your shield to also stop the ultimate. 408, thanks for the tier 1, thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. But you want it to be on the kill feed? Okay, understandable. Have a nice day. That's fine. Good trade. Good rock. I mean, honestly, like, they got you, but I'm okay with that. You didn't have your eat. Something else I'll do is I'll throw my shield towards the Ayari, which then also forces them to have to go through your shield, and you can time your eat better. Yep, rock. Dummy Thick, thanks to get this up. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. And 408, thanks to get this up. Appreciate it. No words on, my guess is if there's a Mauga nerf / buff, will be next week. And Boba, thanks for the 100 bits. Thanks, appreciate it. One thing I haven't seen you do too much of right now is taking that high ground. I know you're winning the team fight from here, but that high ground's important. Shield off, nice. Can't do anything about your Sojourn there. Like, you have to use that shield for yourself at that point, otherwise you both go down and that's not what you want. Shield off the Bob, shield off the Bob. Don't rock the Bob, shield off the Bob. There you go, nice. I would have liked to see you actually save your rock there. If you ever wonder why I rock Bob, it's either later on when I need to rock the Bob to prevent that if my shield's dead or my eat's down, or to stop the momentum of where Bob's going to prevent them from, like, somebody's trying to bob the cart, and I rock the Bob early so they don't go to the cart. Stuff like that. But you need to do a little bit better job of, like, how you manage your cooldowns there, otherwise you won't have them. In my opinion, does Genji counter Mauga? Genji's okay against Mauga because of being able to deflect. Counter? No. Deflect? Very good. By the way, you still haven't gone for high ground. I'm just going to keep reiterating that if you take top right, you're gonna put yourself in a good spot. Yep, rock, nice play. Good job. Just go top right. Is the gifted subs thing still active for the Echo skin? Yeah. Yeah. It goes till the like 3 a.m. on the 12th. Top right. Top. Look where your May is. Look where your team is. Take that. Listen, I know your teammates got 2, but I want you to get in the habit of taking that, like what do you call it, pathing? Like towards the high ground, because if you default to that, you're going to go there more frequently. You can always drop down right to where you're going. You're just going to be in a better spot, in an advantageous spot to help your teammates take a high ground or maintain it. Just get used to it on this map, in my opinion. What's this rank? This is plat. Not a bad attack. You have defense now. Let's see how you set up your defense here. You're on the low ground. I'm not a fan of this setup right here. I want you to go on that high ground. Get off this low ground. Even if you hold this here, I would like to see you play a little bit further up. Above you, not further up where they're at. You give yourself no opportunity here. Like, you give yourself no opportunity to basically retake this if you get rolled right where you're at. You're wasting your shield cooldown right now. We were talking about the Echo skin for the supporter streamer, the Birds of Paradise one. Forget what those. Your shield, your shield management, just don't. Okay, that's Zarya apparently. Uh-oh. Be careful, be careful, be careful. It's Bastion in turret form. You don't have your cooldowns for this. You should be fine now. You're good. Yep, rock. Oh, no, I missed. Rock? Jump! And hey, you said the other tank was saying you weren't playing well, and I will say, you ended up having a much better half here, and you played well against the other tank, too. The tank was playing well at times, too, but I was going to say, nice job, good hold. Let's see if you can win this. You have a full minute, or it will be a draw. Let's find out. Actuating the barrier. Ha! Get Brock. Doesn't work as well against Hog now, but it's still okay to do. Good shield block. See how you use your shield as like a Zarya bubble right there? Shield management. Think about your shield management just by a little bit, okay? Adam, thanks for the 2 gifts. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. Shield management. You're not giving your shield time. No! That's gonna reset the regen time. Don't shield this yet. Just give it a sec. What the? It's gonna work though, I guarantee it. Okay, I don't know if it did. Maybe it did because the Reaper's in, like on the... It's a draw. No, maybe not. Is it a draw? Wait, your Echo's still there. I'll zoom out. You might win this, actually. Nope. It's a draw. Okay, so we need to talk about this because, like, the one thing that you did right there was you didn't let your shield ever regen. You just kept using it. Every time you hit that shield button again, it has to go back into the regen timer, and it takes a second. Like, be patient. You gotta pick. Wait a second. Go in. If you just go in and feed, what just happened is what will happen. It's okay to wait 4 seconds. Think about this. You get in the limb, they're already in respawn mode. Not including when they run back from spawn. Best case scenario, they're back in 20 seconds. Probably gonna be back in about 25 seconds. You can wait 4 seconds just to, okay, we're good, go in, and you win. But so many times, and keep in mind, this happens in bronze all the way up to top 500. And I will do this myself sometimes, and then you'll hear me, I'll say it on stream, I'll be like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited an extra second. Just wait that extra second. Be patient with your cooldown. Speaking of that, the number one thing I saw with you, outside of like when you were flicking your rocks, but that ended up getting better, your cooldown management and your positioning. Work on your cooldown management. Stop just like spamming them. Get better with that. And also your go for high ground. Go for position. And I think you'll be in a good spot. If you like this video, make sure to the like button. Sub to all 3 YouTubers. They have a lot of awesome videos on there. Third channel's gonna start having ranked games on there. If you want to start watching gameplay, it's gonna be on there, so make sure to check that out. If you want to submit your own spectating, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. That's where you can submit spectatings. Follow everything in the description if you haven't. Also, we record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch chat right there. That's the Twitch chat you're seeing below the webcam. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.